I kind of have the opposite opinion of the next map, Kowloon. That to me, one, I hate the color design. Just I'm gonna let you, right from the beginning, I just hate the aesthetics of that map. But I feel like that is a really crappy favela. Like it just feels like there's real no
Yeah.
sense of direction. Every time I played it, there wasn't even much incentive for me to leave that center building, the monkey room, because it just seems like everyone just funnels around there to your death. But it just doesn't seem like there's a real good sense of direction. And they have another one of those gimmicky little things, the zip lines, which are kind of fun and I guess kind of cool. But I just don't see much of a need to use them. I don't know. What's your opinion of it, Kowloon, or of Cortez?
Oh, well, I see what you're saying with the zip lines. I think it's probably most useful for capture the flag games, or if I don't know where the bomb sites are, but if you're playing search and demolition, if you need to get there for a quick defuse. But I know what you mean with Kowloon. I'm just gonna put it out there. It's terrible. I hate this map so much. Every map pack has a bad map, and Kowloon just happened to be it. I think it's too dark. It's there's so many spots to hide. There's so many sight lines that you think people wouldn't be able to see you from, and yet they can perfectly. I've had people, and sitting up at the highest point with noob tubes, and they just rain fire upon you and stuff, and it's really annoying. If you get spawn trapped on domination, it's basically as bad as favela in demolition if you run with the hog. I mean, it's awful. You can't get out of that spawn. The zip lines only work one way. I would like to see if they work the other way as well to possibly break a spawn trap, but they only work towards going from the middle to outside of the map, so I really don't see a point in having them for that matter.
Yeah, my initial impression was I absolutely hated that map. But the more I've played it, and I don't know why, I think really that the key for me, the more I've played it, is I've learned there are a lot of back avenues on that map that people probably still don't know about. And the more I've found out about those avenues, I've actually started to enjoy that map a lot more. And I know as far as it goes, like I think most of the action, you're right, though, it is centered around the tallest point of the map in that middle building. And outside of that, sometimes it's hit or miss whether or not you're going to see people. And there's a lot of places on that map where people can just sort of sit in a dark corner. But as like I said, as I played it, I learned there's a lot of ledges like right on the edge of the map that you could easily fall off the side to your death. But there's a lot of these little ledges where you can actually flank around the outside of the map, and a lot of people aren't really aware of them yet. I know I was playing night before last on it, and I was sneaking up behind people that had no idea where I was coming from. So overall, I guess I'd rate it somewhere in the middle. Not my least favorite map, but definitely not one of my favorites either.
Okay. And the final multiplayer map, Stadium. For me, this is, at least from an aesthetic standpoint, one of my favorites. It kind of has the same color scheme almost as Nuketown. It's a lot brighter. It's a smaller map. And I thought this was going to be my favorite map, and it's a tie between this and Discovery. But I really like it. It's like I said, it's a small map, not a lot of long lines of sights, so it's great for running and gunning. The only gripe that I kind of have with that map is when they were marketing it initially, they were like, you're going to play in this hockey stadium. And sure, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. It's going to be kind of like that Duke Nukem 64 or Duke Nukem 3D game where you could play on the football
Oh,
field.
I love that map.
But you go in there and it's like, it's like you're finding coal and you're stocking on Christmas morning. You can just look at the stadium, you can look at the ice rink, but you can't play on it. So it's like I almost feel cheated when they call it stadium when you don't even really get a chance to interact with it. I feel like they lost a lot of potential, even if they wanted to add some interactive stuff in there too, like mess with the Zamboni. I don't know. It would have been pretty cool to actually interact with the ice rink, but for some reason they didn't do that. So that's my only gripe with that map. How about you, Cortez?
Well, I have to say I share that gripe with you. I would have loved to be able to run around in the stands and stuff, and maybe Grit and his dolphin diving fetish being able to slide across the ice rink would have been funny to see and
Yeah.
great to do, to get away from someone like that. but I also feel cheated. I think it's just more of like the scenery outside. They might as well have called it like parking lot instead of stadium, because all you really do is you're in the underground area like behind it, and you're outside in like just the surrounding area. And another gripe that I have is people tend to really stay away from the stadium area in general, and they hide in that row of buildings that are, opposite the stadium itself. But still, I mean, for a running gunner like me, it's a great map for CQC to practice that, to really like show off, and you can pretty much get away with anything except a sniper rifle.
Yeah, well, as a lot of people probably know, I'm one of the guys that's not really a big fan of small maps. And the reason for that is I kind of like to approach the action at my own pace. I don't like to be thrown back into the middle of things when I respawn. That's why I absolutely hate Nuketown for that very reason. And I was surprised how much I actually liked this map, because just looking at it, it looked like the type of map that I really wouldn't like. But the more I play it, I played domination on a bit, and that B flag is tough. But
Yeah,
once
it
you
is.
get it, it's pretty easy to defend. So the hurdle, you got to get it, but after that, it's out in the open, and you can defend it pretty much from either the A or C flag relatively easily. And
Yeah.
in domination, you see a lot more people going through the the actual arena, because it's a good cut through point to get from C to A or A to C, without having to run through the middle of the map. Team deathmatch, it's a lot of close quarters combat, a lot of people running around, which it's not necessarily my cup of tea, but I enjoy being able to do it now and again. Like you said, visually the map is really well done, and I think there's enough space on it where you're not gonna feel like you have to throw on a submachine gun or a shotgun just to run around. I mean, you can effectively, basically, anything but a sniper rifle on that map. I think you can use just fine depending on how you want to play it. It's like I kind of feel the same way about that map as I do with firing range. It's a good map. I can't really find any complaints about it. May not be my favorite, but I'm never going to vote against it if it comes up, unless it's second time maybe.
Okay. So, I guess at least for me personally, if I had to rate the map pack, I mean, would I still buy it? Yeah, I think so. I think it definitely. I don't know if it rekindled my appreciation for the game, but it's definitely something different, and I like it. If you're a big Call of Duty fan or a Black Ops fan, I would certainly suggest picking up the map pack, and it also has a zombie map as well. But I think even the $15 might be justifiable for those 4 maps. How about you guys? Do you think it was worth the purchase?
Absolutely. If I, had to go back and tell my past self whether to buy it or not, I would be, holding a knife to his throat saying, "You must buy this map." Some maps are better than others, like we said. Definitely Kowloon being the worst of the worst, but you throw in good maps like the others and Ascension, which is a crap load of fun. It's definitely worth the pickup. Only 1,200 Microsoft points. It's really cheap for 5 maps. No remakes. That's a big thing too. That sort of turned me off of the Modern Warfare 2 maps. I only got the first one because I liked Crash so much. But I mean, for 5 new maps with a zombie map, it's definitely a good deal.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely, I think, worth the price. And especially Cortez touched on it, compared to the Modern Warfare 2 map packs. Oh, this is a value. I mean, look back at those. You got 3 new maps and 2 remakes. That was it. This one you get 4 new maps, and I think for the most part are very well done. And then on top of that, you get a zombie map, which I'm sure the effort put into that one zombie map was probably quadruple the effort it took Infinity Ward to remake their old Call of Duty 4 maps. So I think for the price, we're getting a lot better deal than we did in Modern Warfare 2. And then on top of that, I some people may not like the new maps, but I'm rather well satisfied with all of them. So I definitely think it's worth the price to get it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys brought up a good point. When you compare, if you bought the Modern Warfare 2 map packs and you were at least satisfied with them, then it's a value. It's definitely a value to buy these. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and let me know your opinions of the maps. And as always, guys, take it easy.